Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we will start our design. We will make our melting heart using double exposure. I'm using these photos. I got it from the Pixels, from the Unsplash, and this one is from the Wikipedia, and these bears from the DeviantArt. I will leave the links and also the pictures in the resource folder. The first thing we're going to work with is the heart. Right click and open it with the Photoshop. We are going to remove the background from it. I'm going to use the object selection tool to remove the background. Select it like this. Make sure that the enhance the edges and object subtract is selected. Now we have our rough selection. We need to refine it, especially this area. I will use the lasso selection tool. Then we will use the shift to add and alt or option to remove. We want to add this to the main selection. I'm going to press on the shift and select it like this. For this area, we need to remove it from the selection. Just press on the option or alt and select it like this. Now it's removed and subtract. Press on the option or alt and make your selection like this to remove it from the selection. We need to remove this area also from the selection. I will use the object selection tool. I'll press on the alt or option and select this area. An object selection tool will automatically select it for me, but it is not perfect. I will use the lasso tool again. I'll press on the shift to include this area with the main selection, just like this. Okay, everything is good now. Let's go to the mask and we are going to mask it. Then we will create a new document and we are going to use these settings. Make the resolution 300, the width would be 1080, and this one will be 1350, and create it like this. Now we will bring the heart to this new document, select it, copy, and paste it here. We are going to scale it down to something like this. Make sure it's in the middle. Make sure it's in the middle of the frame, just like this. And the next thing we're going to do is to bring this photo that we have, these golden rocks, keep it as it is, the size. And we want this area to appear inside the heart. For that, I will select the layer, the heart layer, and option or alt click on the mask to have the selection back. Then select the rock picture and mask it like this. Then we will remove the link between the mask and the layer. Click on the layer itself and we will move it around. Sorry. Make sure that you click on one of the handle and then move it. And fix it just like this. Sure you have something like this. Okay, now you have something like this. We can now go ahead and disable the heart layer because you don't need it anymore. I'll just hide it. Now you'll go to this photo, right click on it and open it with the Photoshop. We are going to cut out this guy. I'm going to use the object selection tool. Now we made a rough selection. I'll go ahead and refine it with the lasso tool. As you can see, there are many areas that you don't want to include and many areas that are not included. I'll start with this place. I just want to remind you again, when you press on the shift, you will have this plus icon beside the lasso tool. It means you will add things to the selection. And when you press on the alt or option, you will have the minus tool. It means you will remove from the selection. So this area I wanted to add it to the selection. That's why I press on the shift and now I'm doing my selection. And you can see that I have plus beside the lasso tool. So just like this, we added to the selection. Now you want to remove this area from the selection. That's why I'm going to press on the option and make a selection like this, and you want to remove this one. Okay, let's move on and see where else we need to fix. Let's go to the face. As you can see, we have a lot of fails here. Now I want to remove this from the selection. Just like this, we'll remove it. I will keep the rest as it is because it will not be appeared anyway. It will be a very small picture. Let's fix this area as well. Now it's included with the main selection. I want to exclude it, so I press on the option, and just like this we will create our selection. Try your best to have a good selection. And like this, we subtracted this area. And we'll do the same for this area as well. Okay, what else is left? Okay, this part of the shoes is not included. We are going to include it to the selection. Okay, the other shoes, we need to fix that as well. This area, there is some of the ground included with the shoes. I'll just remove this one. We are good like this. Now you can go ahead and make a mask on this layer to remove the background. Then we will double click on the mask to refine our selection. I will use the refine tool just to fix some of the hair. Make sure that you are doing this carefully. Okay, I think I will keep it like this. Press OK. Now go to Move tool, click on it, copy, and paste it here. Now we need to move it over everything and make it very small. Then right click on one of the handles to flip it. Sorry, right click like this, flip it horizontally. And then we will fix it on this rock. Okay guys, this will be it for this lesson. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. In the next lesson we are going to work on the shadows and the lights and make this scene more realistic. I'll see you there. Bye bye. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we will work on the shadows. First I'll make this smaller and put it right here. And now we will work on the light. So the light is coming from the left side, it means it will be in this area. I'll create a new empty layer, clip mask it, press on the option and click, and name it light. I will name this man, and name this heart, and this one we can name it anything. I will name it Arizona. Now let's go back to our light layer, change the blending mode to the overlay or screen. Let's make it overlay, and then we will use the brush tool. We will get our color from this area and then paint over it. Make the brush smaller, the opacity make it 9, and now we can create our light. I'll get some color from here to make a bouncing light on the back, just a little bit. Then I'll press I to get the white color again and paint more over the face to make more light. And I think we are good like this. The next thing we're going to do is to create the shadow. So for that, I'm going to duplicate this layer, Command J, and move it over the light. As you can see, the light lost the clipping mask. Press on the Option or Alt and click on it to make it mask again. And now we will name this one Shadow. Press and hold on the Control or Command to play with the individual points like this. Fit it over here, and now move it under the main layer. And now fix it just like this. Make sure that they are connected. And then use the command to make it stretched like this. And then we will move it over here. Let's move it to the right side like this. And then we can use the warp tool to bend it just like this. We need to bend it more. I'll just move this point down a lot until you have something like this. No worries if it goes out of the heart, we will remove that. Okay, try to make something like this. Now double click on it. Now we will go to the adjustment effects, create a new solid, make the color pitch black, press OK, and clip mask it to the shadow layer. Now our shadow is dark. I will select both of them and convert it to the smart object. Add the mask to it, and now we will remove the parts that we don't want with the brush. Make the brush bigger. The opacity is 9, let's change it. Make it 40 and remove it like this. Here you want to blend the man shadow with the shadows on the rock. Just like this, we created our very realistic shadow. There are some things that needs to be fixed. If you get close, you will see that the shadow and the man, like the shadow is somehow out of the man's layer. I will press on the command and move it like this. This area as well. Then double click. And we are good. So the next thing we are going to do, I'm going to create a background. So I will use the adjustment effects, and then we will create a solid color, and I will use this color. Press OK and bring this solid below everything, just like this. Now I want to remove the white area that we have between the rock, which is this one. And also I'm going to select the mask on the Arizona and remove these two parts. They are extra. Remove it just like this. In this case I'm using the white color. You usually use the black color to remove, but I don't know, for some reason white is working now. I don't know. If it's the case for you, let me know. Now we need to remove this white area. I will select the Arizona again and then use the quick selection tool to select this area. Then make a mask on it and press delete to remove. Now Ctrl D to deselect. Make sure that the mask layer is selected that we just created, and then select and mask. And now we will use the refine edges tool, not this one, this one, and we will remove these extra parts that we have. Let's go over here and remove. No, we don't want to remove that. Command Z and carefully remove this white area. And I think we are good like this. Just press OK. We have a perfect selection. The next thing we are going to do, I will create an empty layer over the Arizona. We need to make a shadow on these Arizona rocks. I will rename it Shadow Arizona. Okay, clip mask it, press on the option and click on it, or Alt and click on it. Change the blending mode to the multiply. Now go to the brush tool and you will get a color from this area. Press I, get the color, press B for the brush again, make the brush bigger, and now change the opacity to 27. Now we can paint over these areas. We want to make shadows on these areas. No worries if you paint more than you should, because we are going to use the mask to remove it again. So paint over it just like this, then add a mask to it. Then we will use black and white on the brush to remove and add. So we'll make it black for now. We are going to remove it. I'll make a size of the brush smaller, and then I will carefully remove from the areas that I think the light will hit, which is this one, here, over here as well, and this one as well. Make the size of the brush bigger, bring down the opacity to 6, and now we'll remove from this area. We'll keep it like this. Maybe later we'll come back to it and make it better, but let's keep it like this for now. The next thing we are going to do is to bring the birds. You should find this in the resource folder. Drag it and drop over the photo. We'll make it smaller and then fit it to this area. We are good like this. The next thing we are going to do is to arrange our layers. I'm going to group everything together. So I'll select this one and I'll go to the last layer, press shift and click on the last layer. We don't want to include the background, we only need the layers, which will be this one. Command G to group it, then Command J to duplicate. We will keep one of the copies as a backup. Make sure you hide it, and this one we are going to convert it to the smart object. Right click on it, convert it to the smart object, and now you can rename it to the desert heart or anything that you want. And this will be the end of this lesson. In the next lesson we are going to work more on the background and some very exciting stuff. See you there. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson we are going to create the melting effect. But before we do that, I will quickly create a new background. I will create a new empty layer and we will paint over it what we want. I'll name it background. We are going to use this color, use this coat, and then go to the brush tool and we are going to paint our background. I'm going to spend some time painting the background. Increase the opacity to 35 and paint it like this. Let's increase the size of the brush. Just paint it like this. Actually, I'm going to paint over everything and then I will use the mask to remove some areas that I don't want. I will press I to get the color from here, then press B for the brush again. Oh, sorry. Just paint over everything. Now let's make a mask on it and increase the size. Something like this. You want to remove this area. By the way, make sure that you're using the black color to remove. I'll Ctrl Z and bring down the opacity. Then I will remove the areas that I don't want. So the area between the two rocks, I want it to be the brightest. I'll remove the color from it more. Guys, I'm going to spend a lot of time working on the background. I hope you bear with me. For now, I'm just creating a rough background. Later, we will come back to it and work more on it. So now I'm using the black color to remove it. You can press X to change the color to the white and bring the areas that you want to bring the color back. Let's keep it like this for now. The next thing we're going to do is to make the melting effect. I will duplicate this. Command J to duplicate. We will bring this copy down. Make sure you hide it. Bring it over here. And now this copy you will rasterize it because you want to add that smudge tool and the melting effect, so it needs to be rasterized. Now go to the smudge tool, hold and click and smudge tool. Now we can create our melting effect. We will increase the size, make it 20 something or 30. Oh, sorry. Now we can do the melting effect just like this. Press on the shift to make these straight lines. Just like this. And I will do this for the several places of this heart. Okay, we are good for this area. As you can see, I'm using Command Z or Control Z a lot because sometimes the lines are not what I need, so I Command Z to do them again until I get something that I like. So as you may see, I just Command Z many of them and then I will redo them again. Let's make some adjustment here. Now Command Z to undo it. Let's do it again. Okay, let's keep it like that. Now this area, we need to decrease the size of the brush, make it 11, and you will make some melting effect over this area as well. Again, if you don't like something, just Command Z and do it again. Let's do some for this place as well. So basically I'm creating this melting effect for the edges, the places that I think that something will come down from it. I'm just testing these areas if I can do something with them, but obviously nothing will work. I'll just Command Z or Control Z. Okay, this area also I will make some melting effect. Okay, I think we need to fix the lower area, which is this one, increase the size of the brush, and let's fix this area a bit. Something like this will be good. Then let me see and test the other places if melting effect will work on them. Obviously it's not working for these areas. Command Z. And now let's go to this pick. We will make something here. Make the size smaller. And let's do a melting effect. I don't like this. Let's do it again. Okay, let's keep it like this. Perfect, we are done with the melting effect. The next thing we are going to do is to add light. In the previous lesson we added the shadow to this desert heart. Now I will create a new empty layer, clip mask it to the desert and name it light. Now we will add some light to our desert heart. We are going to use the brush tool and the white color. Before we paint, let's change the blending mode to the overlay, and then just paint on the areas that are catching the light, just like this. And we are good like this. Okay, this will be the end of this lesson. In the next lesson, we are going to take our time and work on the background more. See you there. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson, we are going to work on the background. So I'm going to create a new layer and then bring it down. Now go to the brush tool and we are going to paint white on this layer. So the light on the rocks are very harsh. We need to make the light between the rock harsh too, because it is the source of the light. And then I'll paint some of the white outside as well, just to make a seamless transition. Now I will create a new empty layer and we will put it over everything. I will call this color. We will use this to give the fade effect. I'll get the color from this area and then choose the brush tool and paint over it like this. I think it's too much. Let's make the opacity less, make it 5, and now paint over it. Like this, we are creating this faded effect and it makes the design much nicer. Okay, try to have something like this. Now let's go back to our white layer. We are going to paint more. Choose the brush tool. Make sure that you change the color to white. I'll Command Z or Control Z, make the color white, and then paint over this area, especially because you wanted to make it very bright. We still need to work more on the background, but let's do this for now. Okay, let's make a mask on this layer. This one. Make a mask on it. And we need to remove some of the white that we added. By the way guys, I'm going to take my time and work on the background until I get something that I like. So the thing that I do now, I may not go with them at the end. You just follow me and see the process. If you want also, you can skip it and go to the end of this lesson. If you want to disable the mask, shift and click on it. Just like this, it will remove it. So you can see the change that mask added to this layer. Okay, now let me remove this ruler line that we just accidentally brought it here. And then we'll go to this color layer that we just created. I'll press on the Option or Alt and click on it to mask it to the desert heart. Now I'll create a new layer. I will name this white. And I'm going to paint white on the background. I just want to experiment this as well and see if it will make things nicer. Bring down the opacity to 10 and paint on this area. Then outside of this rocks. Okay, let me get the color from this area. Press I, get the color, press B for the brush and paint over this area. No, I didn't like it. Change the color to white again. Press X to change the color from the foreground and the background. Make sure you are using white and you are going to paint just like this. I just want this combination of red and white together. Get some color from this area. Okay, and now let's paint it. I'm still experimenting, guys. I hope you're not getting bored with me working on this background. But this will be the process for you if you're working on your own stuff. You're gonna test many things. I could tell you the final result, but I want you to see me doing this. As you can see here, I changed the size of the brush very big, and now I'm pressing X to change the color between white and this red, and I'm painting until I see something that I like. Right now I'm painting white over this area. And if I want to change, I will press X to make it red and paint over it. Okay, let's paint white. Let's keep it like this for now. The next thing we are going to do, I will select all of the layer of the heart, which is this desert heart and these two, and I will move them up. Make sure that they are in the center, and just like this we put it in the center. Now I will create a new layer, an empty layer for the background. I will name it white add or background color add. Now go to the brush tool. Let's now change the color to the milky color. I'll swap them, and then change the size of the brush very big, something like this, or a bit smaller. And now we can paint on the background like this. We will paint this color over everywhere, and then we will change it to white to combine these two colors, white and this milky color. When you have something like this, press X to make it white. Make sure that you're using the white color. I'm going to make the size a bit bigger, and now we can just paint. Just like this, we are creating a very nice mixture of two colors. Sorry. Okay, now let's make the size of the brush a bit smaller so we can paint on the corners. And now I'm happy with this one. Finally, we created our background. We could skip all of this lesson and start creating something like this, but I wanted you to see the process and how I achieve the background or achieve anything when I design. I'll see you in the next lesson, and in the next lesson we are going to add some text to our design. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson you are going to add some of the text to our design. Press T or go to the type tool and add a text like this. We're going to write the stone heart. And then we will make it smaller. Make sure you select the text before you make it small. Let's move it to the side. Let's make it a bit smaller. And then we need to change the color. You don't change the color from this area, but you need to double click on it, select your layer and change it from here. We'll get the color from the heart. Something like this will work. And then I'll make it even smaller. Now press on the command and move it to the side. We will put a number over here. I'll make it a bit bigger. It's very big, I think. We are going to make it smaller, just like this. Scale it down. Make sure that the gap that you have between the text and the side of the frame, in both sides it should be the same, in the right and the left. I'm just eyeballing now. Now I duplicate this layer again, and I will write the date here, May 23, 2020. You can write anything here. I just put the date here. Make sure it is aligned with the other stuff. Now press on the command and move it to the side. I'm pressing on the shift with it so I snap it to the right place. In this side, I'm going to write the name of the course. Photoshop Mega Course. Bring it down, make sure it's in the middle. Okay, now let's go to this text, press on the Alt or Option to make another copy. We will change the text to something else, but let's rotate it first. Okay, double click on it. Now I'll write my name. And I will add the C to it. I'll just go to the Google and write copyright sign. We didn't have it. Let's write copyright symbol. And here we have it. I'll just copy this, come back to the Photoshop and paste it here. I will add some more text. I'm going to add the date. It will be May 23. May 23, 2020. And let's put it in the middle. And just like this, we created our poster. If you want, you can skip this part and don't add any text, keep it clean. For me, I keep it clean when I post on Instagram. Okay guys, and just like this, we created our poster. Hope you enjoyed and learned something new. In the next lesson, I'm going to give you a homework. See you there.